In Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, Tom Cruise doesn't just run into danger, he straps himself to the side of a military plane as it takes off. No CGI trick, no green screen backdrop. Cruise is literally bolted to the outside of an Airbus A400, hundreds of feet in the air. To pull this off, engineers built a special harness and reinforced doors, but Cruise was still completely exposed to the wind, the deafening roar of the engines, and the risk of debris smashing into his face at 150 miles per hour. They even had to custom-make contact lenses, just to keep his eyes from being shredded by the airflow. And here is the wildest part. He didn't do it once. He hung off that plane 8 separate times until the director captured the perfect shot. Now think about this for a second. One wrong move, one unexpected bird in the sky, and Tom Cruise would have been gone. That's not just movie magic, that's real life, inches away from disaster. No actor in Hollywood has ever done something like this, because no studio in their right mind would let them. In fact, insurance companies initially refused to cover it. The risk was, well, it was beyond reason. This isn't just a stunt, it's a statement. Cruise wants you to believe what you're seeing, even if it means putting his life on the line. And when audiences realize it's real, it changes the entire movie. It feels dangerous because it actually was dangerous. Motorcycle cliff jump. Tom Cruise attempts what many stunt experts call the most dangerous stunt ever filmed, riding a motorcycle straight off a cliff. No hidden wires, no green screen, just a man, a bike, and a free fall into nothingness. To prepare, Cruise practiced by skydiving over 500 times and completing more than 13,000 motocross jumps. The stunt itself was performed on a remote mountain in Norway, chosen specifically for its extreme drop and wide valley floor, giving him just enough room to open his parachute. But this wasn't just a reckless leap. Engineers built a custom takeoff ramp, one that allowed Cruise to reach the exact speed he needed. Too slow, and he wouldn't clear the rocks. Too fast, and he'd overshoot the safe landing zone. And here's the thing. Every single factor had to line up. Wind direction, parachute deployment, even the slightest mistake could have been fatal. The crew rehearsed emergency procedures again and again, but once Cruise launched, there was no safety net. When the moment finally came, he revved the bike, tore down the ramp, and launched into the sky. In that moment, Cruise didn't just do a stunt, he redefined what's possible in filmmaking. Burj Khalifa climb. Tom Cruise doesn't just look at the tallest building in the world, he decides to climb it. At 2,722 feet high, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai is so tall, you can literally see the curvature of the earth from the top. And that's exactly where Cruise wanted to be, dangling outside it, hundreds of floors above the ground. To make it possible, Cruise was strapped to a specially designed rig attached to the building's glass panels. But here's the twist most people don't know. Those panels weren't designed to hold a human being. Engineers had to redesign the exterior windows, just so Cruise wouldn't rip them out mid-climb. And while the crew digitally erased safety cables, the actual climb was still real. Every hand grip, every jump, every moment balanced against gravity and disaster. At that height, even the smallest mistake, a sweaty palm, a loose shoe, could have been fatal. One slip, and there was nothing between Tom Cruise and a 2,700-foot drop. That's not movie danger, that's death waiting at the bottom. And yet, Cruise kept going. Running, leaping, sprinting on glass like it was a playground. The winds at that altitude reached over 30 miles per hour. Strong enough to push a man off balance. At times, he had to flatten his body against the glass just to stop from being peeled away. By climbing the Burj Khalifa, Cruise wasn't just doing a stunt, he was announcing to the world that he'd go higher, risk more, and push further than any actor alive, and audiences believed it because they knew it was real. The Halo jump. Tom Cruise became the first actor in history to perform a high-altitude, low-opening parachute jump on camera. That means leaping out of a plane at 25,000 feet and free-falling for almost an entire minute before pulling the chute. One mistake, and it's instant death. To pull this off, Cruise trained with military experts for months. He needed an oxygen mask just to breathe at that altitude. The air is so thin that without pressurized oxygen, he'd lose consciousness in seconds. And every jump had to be timed perfectly to capture the shot in golden hour light. Missed the window, and the shot was gone. The crew even built a custom helmet rig with cameras inside, because normal IMAX cameras would literally shatter in those conditions. And Cruise didn't just do it once, he jumped over 100 times to get it right. What the audience sees in the movie isn't visual effects. It's Tom Cruise falling through the sky at terminal velocity, with nothing but a parachute strapped to his back and a cameraman falling alongside him at 25,000 feet. There's no backup plan. No retakes, just one chance to survive. And here's what most people don't realize. At that altitude, even lightning or a sudden air current could have killed him. One wrong hand movement near the oxygen line, and he'd black out mid-fall. The cameraman had to keep pace within inches while also not colliding with him. It was choreography at 200 miles per hour. Hollywood fakes danger to make you believe. Tom Cruise embraces danger, so you can't doubt it. The halo jump wasn't just a stunt. It was proof that Cruise is willing to gamble with gravity itself to keep audiences glued to the screen. The underwater scene, Tom Cruise dives into a high-tech security vault. No scuba tank, no air supply, and no cuts to save him. What looks like an intense action sequence was actually a fight against biology itself. Cruise trained with professional freedivers until he could hold his breath for over 6 minutes. To put that into perspective, most actors can barely last 10 to 15 seconds before cutting. But Cruise insisted on doing it in one single continuous shot. The risk was terrifying, blacking out underwater with no chance for a safety diver to reach him in time. At that depth and in that rig, the margin for error was razor thin. Every desperate gasp, every twitch of panic you see on screen is real. He wasn't acting like he was suffocating. He was. 1 second too long, and Tom Cruise would have drowned on camera. This wasn't spectacle. It was survival. By putting himself in genuine danger beneath the water, Cruise gave audiences something even CGI can't fake: the fear of running out of breath. The helicopter chase, Tom Cruise didn't just act in a helicopter chase. He flew it himself. No stunt double, no safety illusion, just Cruise at the controls, flying through narrow canyons at speeds that would terrify even trained pilots. To prepare, Cruise trained for over a year to earn his helicopter pilot's license. Then, instead of carefully staged flights, he pushed the machine to its absolute limits, diving between mountains, spinning through the air, even performing risky maneuver with a massive IMAX camera strapped to the side. The climax, Cruise intentionally crashing a helicopter while sitting inside it. Every shake, every jolt of the cockpit wasn't acting, it was real. Hollywood usually hides pilots off camera, but here, Tom Cruise was the pilot, the actor, and the stuntman all at once. He wasn't pretending to be in danger, he was. The helicopter chase isn't just another stunt, it's the ultimate proof of Cruise's obsession to erase the line between performance and reality. And when audiences saw the scene, they didn't just watch a chase, they witnessed an actor truly risking his life to sell the story.